Real quick thing. That was on our original business. There's a lot more this year, only for no weather, so I was not looking how to get through the other ones. But I was told that was good, so I just didn't do it. That's very massive. But maybe that's the most important. I hope not. But I was just told to try to grab something off of the account. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Did you do it?
That was one of the questions you put on the screen for everybody. A poll question was something about Zoom, and one of the first answer was, I don't mind Zoom at all. The second one was like, I like Zoom because I don't have to wear pants.
Was it good? Training?
I mean, it was just so much of a repeat from the last one.
Right.
Accountability stuff is
Yeah. Plus, it's so iffy right now because that's going to change.
Okay, I have 5:50, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, it's 5:50 on September 28th. I call this meeting of Santa Fe Independent School District order. The records show a quorum of board members is present. This meeting has been duly called. Its notice has been posted in accordance with Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code Chapter 551. And we do have a quorum of board members. And I don't know if Eric's in the building or if he's coming virtually. Do you know, Julie?
I assume he'll be.
Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and move on. This section of the meeting of the Santa Fe ISD Board of Trustees has discussed the Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas 2019-2020 ratings based on the 2018-19 data that's now open. It's 5:50, and I would like to recognize Ms. Lee Townsend.
Good evening. Hope everybody's doing well this evening. This is our annual board report. I'm going to pause for a second. I hit the wrong button. Excuse me. That was totally on my part. So this evening, we are going to discuss the first rating that the district receives. All school districts in Texas receive a first rating. The report is on the podium if we have any guests that would like to see this, and it's also in your board packet. We do have copies available, and they will be published online if you'd like to review them further. I am now going to play a pre-recorded message. We will post this message on our website so anyone can refer back to it in the future if they have any questions at any time. And then after we do the pre-recorded presentation, we will answer any questions that you or any of the audience members may have. Okay. So I'm going to start that recording now.
Good evening. Welcome to the Santa Fe ISD first public hearing. It is September 28th, 2020, and the public hearing has been advertised in the paper. Santa Fe ISD received a superior rating with a score of 94 points out of 100. What is FIRST? FIRST stands for Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas. The primary goals of School FIRST are to efficiently assess the quality of financial management in Texas public schools, measure and report the extent to which financial resources in Texas public schools assure the maximum allocation possible for direct instructional purpose, implement a rating system that fairly and equitably evaluates the quality of financial management decisions, improve the management of school districts' financial resources, and increase financial accountability within Texas's public education systems. Each year, Santa Fe ISD has received an A superior rating. Many good things are happening at Santa Fe ISD. We continue to grow our fund balances, invest in instructional resources, offer a competitive salary, and update our facilities. Looking closer at the indicators that did not receive a 10 as a score for the 18-19 fiscal year. Indicator number 7. Was the measure of current assets to current liabilities ratio for the school district sufficient to cover short-term debt? At the end of 2019, there was a concern that the 2018-2019 ADA and enrollment was lower than expected. TEA financial updates generally published 6 to 18 months after the close of the fiscal year. Because of this delayed settle-up timeframe, districts with a lower than expected enrollment and/or declining enrollment find out the excess amount they receive from TEA at the end of the next fiscal year. As best practice, districts are advised to create an accounting liability using estimates to prevent an issue in the next fiscal year. Even though we budgeted the correct amount of state revenue and received that amount, we are required to account for TEA's overpayment on our general ledger, thus causing the increase in current liabilities. We created a $2 million liability in 2018-2019 due to TEA's overpayment. Indicator number 8, we scored a 6 out of 10. The ratio of long-term liabilities to total assets for the school district sufficient to support long-term solvency. If the school district's change of students and membership over 5 years was 7% or more, then the district passes this indicator. Our student membership change over 5 years has never been 7% or more. The Annual Financial Accountability Management Report and Texas Education Agency Detail Rating Report can be found on the district website under Departments/Business/First Rating. This concludes the first public hearing. We will answer questions at this time.
So are there any questions that I can help clarify?
The $2 million liability, is that a credit? Do we have a certain amount of time?
So that's a really good question, because House Bill 3 in 2019-20 has been all over the place. And they may increase our revenue by $1 million, and then the following couple of months, it's decreased. So this year has been very different from any other year in the past. Normally, it's been near the near final, and that's done, and you don't need to expect it any further. But it's just unpredictable right this second. Should that not happen in the future, that would be nice. We're looking for that to go ahead and equalize out so we know what funding is going to be. And then they take our year and our numbers from our enrollment and our snapshot, and they implement that in the funding formula at the beginning of the year versus after the year has closed, when they say, oh, now let us update and let us adjust your revenue accordingly. So we're hoping that that will stop. But yes, we did take that into account. We put it as a credit on our, as we increased the cash, and we put it as a liability as a credit. And then the next year we reverse it because we have received that funding. They just never took the cash away. So now the cash matches the funding in the next year.
So it's not a liability we're going to be on to pay back of any
We are
sort.
not writing a check for it. No, sir. But we are using it so then we can now account for the revenue we received in the prior year and not be short the next year.
So it's like a prepayment?
Yes, sir. That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Any other questions for Ms. Townsend from the board members?
But it's not a prepayment that we requested. It's one they say we should have,
Right.
but we know we shouldn't. And we've known all along.
So hang on to it.
Well done on another great rating.
So I just want to give
Everything
kudos.
that you could do within your control anyway. Some of the things I realize are completely out of your control, but
So I would really like to thank the staff. They have done an incredible job this year. Alex Sanchez has gone through his first year and has completed the audit, just done a bang up job. He is very solid in his accounting practices, very meticulous. It's been a great pleasure. We've added an accountant, Sarah Fluger. She's the one who's the voice on the video, has a great understanding, learning very quickly. So we're just expecting great things to continue to happen. And we just feel like our staff is exactly where it needs to be to take on these challenges of House Bill 3 and trying to adjust. And we're hoping that that adjustment is going to come quickly with them and everyone. And we all know where we're going to be and keep on going and doing great, but really a great staff. And so kudos to them for all that they're doing.
Questions on the financial rating before we.
Any other questions for Ms. Townsend from the board? How about the audience? Any questions from in the audience? Okay, ma'am, if there are no other questions, thank you very much.
And we will have this on the district website, and we'll be more than happy to exchange answers via email or call anyone that may at a later date have any questions, and we'll be happy to talk with anyone at that time. So it's not just done, one and done, but we're always there and want people to have the information.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, this concludes our public hearing for the first report. So now we will go into executive session. Board members will now adjourn to executive session as authorized by the Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code Section 551.001 concerning any and all purposes permitted by the act. Should any final action, final decision, or final vote be required, that final action, decision, and final vote shall take place in open session. And we are now in executive session.
And I
We are coming out of executive session and coming back into regular session. Good evening. Welcome to this meeting of the Santa Fe ISD Board of Trustees. I believe it's important that this meeting is conducted in an organized and efficient manner. And to that end, would like to outline some ground rules for all of us to follow during the course of the evening. First and foremost, recognize this is the board's meeting. By law, most of the discussion and all of the voting must be done in open session. Public participation by necessity must be limited to that part of the agenda that is reserved for public input. Occasionally, the board may seek comment or clarification from an administrator in attendance or even from someone in the audience. It's the board's prerogative to seek that information from non-board members as it chooses. However, unsolicited participation from the audience is inappropriate. Secondly, at times it may seem we're voting on issues of importance with little or no discussion. Be advised that all board members get a packet of background information about the various subjects on tonight's agenda several days in advance of actually coming here to participate in the meeting. After receiving our packets, all board members have and often exercise the opportunity to contact various school administrators to ask specific questions in an effort to better understand the issues that we're expected to vote. We thank you for being interested in your school district as witnessed by your presence tonight. We encourage your participation in the educational process of your children. We appreciate your cooperation in helping us conduct the business of the Santa Fe ISD in an organized and civilized manner, and I hope you enjoy the evening. Mr. Davenport, would you lead us in our invocation and pledges, please?
Yes, sir. Please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight and just ask that you watch over each and every one of us in this room. Dear Lord, we also ask that you watch all the students and staff and parents that are trying to move Santa Fe ISD in the right direction. Dear Lord, we know that this year has been tough for all, but dear Lord, we know that through your strength, we can do anything and everything that we need to do to give the kids the best education possible in our community. Heavenly Father, we just ask that you watch over each and every one of us as we go our separate ways and bless this district for everything that is worth. For it is your name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, do we have any action from our executive session?
Yes, sir. I move that we employ Jeffrey Loop as a teacher for 151 of 187 days for the 2020-2021 school year.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the hiring of this teacher. Any other questions or comments? Not, cast your votes, please. Are we going to have the electronic voting? Okay. Show of hands, all in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. It's unanimous. Okay. It's now time for our public comment. The Board of Trustees will hear public comment on agenda items at all open meetings in accordance with the Texas Government Code, Section 551.007. Public comment on non-agenda items will be heard at the regularly scheduled board meetings in April, August, and December per our board policy. And tonight we have none that have signed up. So we will move on to our next agenda item, which is our information items. Dr. Wall, we have some monthly reports.
We do. So in addition to our reports on our various departments, personnel, child nutrition, tax, technology, finance, police department reports that you have, we also have a couple updates this evening. So we'll begin with, I think, Ms. Hansard with the Santa Fe, Texas Education Foundation.
Thank you. I'm pleased to introduce Pam Schwartner. She's the Vice President of Development and President-elect for the Santa Fe, Texas Education Foundation. And she's here this evening to provide you with some updates regarding the foundation.
Hi, thank y'all very much for giving me the opportunity to come in and talk to y'all tonight. We've had a very exciting year. It's our 10th anniversary that's this year. It's just like a birthday. You just kind of celebrate it, all month, all year long. So that's what we've been doing. Have some exciting things that we've already been working on this year. And to go forward 10 years,
We were able to learn a lot and make more money, and hopefully that's going to help all the students and the teachers also. We have a new website that's coming up that we've adopted, and that's at www.santafetexasfoundation.org. Also, not only our logo, which we had that prepared back in when we had our gala back in February, but here recently we have adopted a new mission statement that I'd like to share with you. The Santa Fe Education Foundation cultivates and nurtures the culture of generosity in our community, ignites exemplary experiences for every student and teacher, and inspires the achievement of lifelong success. That's a lot of things, so we're really excited. And we have a great board, and they work real hard in being able to go forward and provide that to the kids. As I said, we have a new website coming up. This is something that we've really been excited about. We have a giving tree program, and we branded that also to go along with our logo that we adopted earlier in the year. And the exciting part is that it's an employee giving campaign, and it increased participation from 9 to 16% and more than doubled the donation total. So we're getting a great response from the teachers and the employees throughout the school. Grants for Great Ideas application cycle is open through September 30th, and then our grants will be awarded in November. We have a few save the date. Like I said, we've been really busy with all this COVID going on. We've had to improvise a little bit and get a little creative, just like everybody else has. The Great Pumpkin Race is going to be a virtual fun run, and that's going to be October 1st through the 31st. And I'm so excited about that one. Out of all the fun runs, I've never participated, but this one I'm on board about. Just write it down on a piece of paper. Also, gentlemen and ladies too, but Kendra Scott with Christmas coming up, Kendra Scott Give Back event, and that is October the 10th through the 11th, and that's going to be online and in the store. So there no excuses. You can get to it anyway.
That's perfect. That's the day I was going.
That's what I'll be sure and let your wife know those dates too. Jason's Deli Evening, a fundraiser and fun run packet pickup is October the 15th. And our gala, which is out there and hopefully will be the best of worlds, is February the 25th, 2021. Additional fundraisers. This is something new that we just got on board about. Online fundraiser to sell Santa Fe branded masks, lanyards, gaiters. Is that how you say it? Gaiters? Okay. I wasn't educated about gaiters. And laptop sleeves with Minuteman Press. A portion of every sale goes to our foundation. So, and if you also go on the website, you'll know that we nickel and dime every penny that we can get, whether partnering with the banking institutions or Amazon. Our director, Gina, has been very aggressive about that. So we appreciate her and we appreciate y'all very much. And if you have any questions, please, I'd like to answer them now, or I can find out for you.
Any questions for the foundation?
Thank you for everything you do.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
And fortunately, COVID came along because I made a comment at some point a while back that I was going to challenge Dr. Wall in the fun run this year, and I got out of it now.
Write it down on a piece of paper.
I didn't stand a chance.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Pam.
Thank you.
Any other monthly reports?
I do. We have a couple. So this evening, we thought we would like to share with you in each of the areas some of the back to school, our connecting to 2020 back to school plans. And so in each area, Ms. Townsend, I think you're starting. We'll kind of give you updates on our start of school and some of the safety measures, as well as just integrating virtual learning and in-class learning, and how we've pushed through, and we're doing really good things. So great things happening.
Good evening. Great things are happening with operations. So we have the first few slides. Transportation, wearing their masks. Kids are getting on the bus with their mask, getting off with their mask. I tried to capture some pictures there, but the one on the right, my right, you can barely see it, but those kids really use that hand sanitizers that are mounted. So when I'm standing and watching the kids get off the bus, man, they got that thing working. And when they get back on, so it's doing really well. And we certainly appreciate those methods put in there. Also on the website, we have videos of some of the cleaning processes too that we have on the operations website. So you can tune in there as well. Social distancing happening at the lunches. This is an elementary example. Of course, daily disinfecting using the infectious disease protocol. They mark the high school stadium and gyms for social distancing. They've moved furniture. And also we get to prepare for hurricanes and tropical storms, which are wonderful things. And then we have a lot of things happening with the grants. A lot of application process, a lot of documentation, a lot of different things going on that is pretty time consuming that we're staying on top of. And then of course, business services are starting, we started a new payroll cycle for all the teachers in that September start cycle. So there was minimal adjustments and there was great collaboration effort between HR and the payroll department and benefits. And on Wednesday, the business services finishes up the financial statements and the audit, and we submit them to begin the audit process, which will wrap up when the auditors finish in November to bring to you all. So lots of great things happening out there for the start of school.
Thank you. And I'm going to just give a brief overview of HR and the Public Relations Department. So the first thing you see is that we have employed over 686 employees this year for the 2021 school year. And when staff returned to work, we presented them with this employee procedures and guidelines for staff. This came from our reentry committee meeting in late May, early June, and providing feedback. That committee was comprised of teachers, administrators, parents, community members, and we were able to share with our staff guidelines for returning safely to work in order to prevent and mitigate the spread of COVID-19. And also we included on there their responsibilities of self-screening, which they receive self-screening text and messages every Sunday evening. And then also as far as good hygiene, and then also as far as face mask and face shields in order to comply with Governor Abbott's executive order GA 29. So that was the first thing that we did as an HR department to help with the COVID-19 and our staff returning safely. In the Public Relations Department, we had several things going on, and one of which is the new SMS text messaging. We've always had that feature, but we did not implement it in former years. And because one of the reasons is you're limited to 160 characters, which is not a lot, but what it does is it enables us to push out messages to staff and to stakeholders, which is parents. And that enables them to go and look for information somewhere else. We may tell them to look at the district website, as we did with the tropical storms and the hurricane recently. So, and then also just reminding them about self-screening and things like that. I wrote down some percentages just to let you know. At this point, we have 64% of our employees that have opted in. And as far as parents and stakeholders, we have 35%. But we're continuing to push that. Every time that we have a message that goes out, we remind parents to opt in, because it's very easy and it's very quick to get those text messages and then be able to follow up. Look at the website, look at your Skyward email, may direct them somewhere else. So we're really hoping that more will participate with that. Next, we also started a COVID-19 dashboard. And if you've not visited the website, please do so because the COVID-19 dashboard is updated weekly. It basically reflects the prior week, but it tells you how many cases that we have, COVID-19 positive cases in the district, as well as what level that we are on. Our standard response protocols for COVID, we have 5 levels. And we are currently on level 2, and that is because if you have 1 or more positive cases, it automatically will take you to level 2 in order to prevent and mitigate. We also added some safety, health and safety protocols and procedures for wearing a face mask and shields. Also for just quarantining. There were some questions and some questions that came through the FAQs and just with staff and parents about what it meant to quarantine and what was the timeline for that. So we wanted to make sure that they understood those timelines. And then the last thing that you'll see on the left is, or it's on my left, but is the health screening. And it's just a reminder to parents what those symptoms are so that we don't have to list them every time we send something out. And then just remember to stay safe and healthy, and that if you're not feeling well, then don't send your, as an employee, if you're not feeling well, contact your supervisor, and parents contact the campus. Don't send your children to school when they're not feeling well. And then lastly, we did some key video messaging, and we worked with other departments and with curriculum, with maintenance and operations, with campuses to send out some key messaging on self-screening and then on connecting the future. We did a live presentation on that, and then just about operations and cleanings and protocols that are happening throughout the district. So turn that over to Ms. Ross.
Well, I might have an earring coming off, so, okay. Anyway, all right. So I'm just going to go ahead and talk to you guys a little bit about the summer. We actually spent the summer months. We looked at all the data, kind of shared that with y'all before. We looked at all the data to see kind of where the gaps were throughout the spring semester, and we actually implemented that during the summer months to make certain that we aligned our curriculum in order for our curriculum to kind of be able to mitigate and predict what gaps that our students would be coming into. So the time spent by so many different teachers that came up here throughout the summer or stayed from home, and we met remotely, it was just amazing, the participation, because they wanted to make certain that we had all of that data in our forefront. So that's what we're really starting in the summer, is that support, because we have to have the alignment of curriculum to give us the outcome and the results, and making certain that our students are walking away from this year learning. And so then I wanted to talk a little bit about the school nurses. During the summer, they worked tirelessly with several committees, and then also worked with campus leadership in creating protocols. And we've actually had a nice little kind of a COVID committee that has been created throughout this whole process. And we just continue to look at updating procedures, refining it, and trying to do as much as we can to prevent what's going on. We also were very pleased that we had started last year with trainer of trainer models, and we actually started with our core team. We have a long range plan for the Canvas, which is our learning management system. And we have a core team of individuals on every campus that actually now has a steadfast and a pretty good dial in on what resources Canvas has within it and what's embedded. So our teachers were able to benefit from those trainer of trainers in order for them to be able to learn it. Of course, it's a vast resource and there's a lot to learn, but our key essential group worked with our curriculum team to make certain that we're utilizing that correctly. So that was a great way to start and be able to give them that structure and that support. Back to school week is when we took all of that and we prepared, and we kind of meshed it all together. And we utilized that time during back to school week to create, classroom setting. What does it look like for a virtual, for a face-to-face, for blended learning? We looked at various models. And then of course we looked at, all of the guidelines and implementation that was necessary from TEA. And it was, it was an interesting start, and it still is, but I have to tell you guys right now, I cannot brag enough on the teachers and their resiliency and getting in there and, modeling learning for our learners, which has been really great. Amidst, some of the technical bleeps that come up, that aren't necessarily, our own issues. Right now, we have a current update from Microsoft that is out nationwide, but that's great. So we're getting that fixed. But nonetheless, they have those real things facing them, in the classrooms on the daily. And bottom line, some of your kids are sitting in those classrooms, no matter what. Those teachers are pulling those resources together. Even if they don't have it, they have a backup plan to make certain that our kids are learning. And so very appreciative of the effort and the commitment that they've made. Another thing that is really essential, and of course it's a component that's required for us to have. However, we embraced it wholeheartedly. We brought in a consultant at the beginning of the year. And obviously one of the biggest issues that we're dealing with in terms of, trauma has to do with a crisis situation, and pandemics actually created, separation anxiety and things like that for our kids. And then of course, obviously the stress and duress that our teachers are going through. So we had our opening facilitator and consultant, with just an educational consultant, who came in to talk about what's going on during this pandemic and how do we emotionally support one another, and how do we emotionally support our kids as well, because we have to get to their hearts before we get to their heads. So we've been doing a lot of alignment on those strategies, and we have a long range plan actually with that. I believe tomorrow during instructional leadership team, we're actually talking about our long range goals for that, and we're building capacity in our classrooms, from our campus administrators to our teachers to us, and committing to those plans to really try to work on that resiliency and help one another with those strategies. The first week of school was launched pretty well. If you didn't get to see it, of course, we had, the majority of the kids that, started virtual learning, but we had those learning labs. And so I did include a couple of pictures of the kids during the learning lab times. The elementaries created rotational schedules during the learning labs so that the kids could have PE and could have specials to attend. And it was really great to see all of those kids. And again, there was nothing but smiles and excitement on their face because they were ready and happy to be back with people. It's interesting whenever you go to the elementaries, if you haven't experienced that, to try to socially distance all of the kids, but they really do try their best. And then they come running at you and want to give you a hug. And well, you got to do your best to make certain you're hugging them, but you're thinking of safety as well. But it really has been cute. And then lastly, well, before I say that, actually, I forgot one thing. One of the things that we did this at the beginning of the year too is we partnered with a lot of our surrounding daycares, and our daycares opened classrooms for some of our students that weren't either able to come to our learning labs or just needed that additional time for help. And it was really nice. So our curriculum team partnered with them, and they rotated around to a variety of the daycares and actually helped them learn how to facilitate and navigate within all of our systems. So that was really, a neat experience as well to see, all of those kids in that setting, but then also to create that connection with our daycares. And then lastly, the leadership piece, our campus administrative teams, they have been working relentlessly. They have been working committedly to constantly improving and trying to create environments for, everyone to set their expectations high, but then, also surrounding them with the support that's needed in order to get them there. And lastly, I just wanted to let you know at this point in time too, as you could hear, a lot of it was about a variety of different technology. With that, we've taken into account a lot of those needs, and we ordered individual webcams for every teacher, and I believe those are all in. And then we also ordered Bluetooth headsets, and we have a variety of other things that are coming in that we're providing trainings for teachers in order to try to make their experience as realistic as possible, so they can have full mobility and they can actually be able to speak in a headset to their class and the kids that are online as well. So it's been a struggle, but it's been a productive struggle. We've learned a lot through this process, and we're going to keep learning. Like I said, the common denominator is that everybody in the world is experiencing this, and so we're learning from one another. And I have to admit that the support that we have, I think from our team, has been really great, because all of us have worked together to make it happen. So that's it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bob, you want to do a brief update on our projects?
All right, quick update on the construction projects. Structural steel is being erected. I'm sure if you've driven down Highway 6, you've seen the giant crane sticking up in the air. They started erecting that last week. They've got most of the first floor steel put in place. They've got a couple more columns on the far west side or east side to do, but they're doing that. Sometime later this week, they'll move the crane and actually set the real big beam that goes across the new dance room. Once that's done, next week, they'll start working on the putting a second floor in.
You said dance, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she just instantly perked up.
And they'll start putting the second floor decking in, and then the roof decking, and then we'll pour that. So we're moving along. We're hoping to be dried in by end of November is a plan there. The vestibule piece is getting close to being done. We had hoped to open it this end of this week, but with 3 days off last week, we're a week behind. So I was in there today. The bricker's over there running the brick. He'll finish that up by Wednesday. We'll get that cleaned up. The fence is put up. The gates are put up around there, so they'll have the outdoor eating area. And then they poured the basis for the teardrop, the new lights that are going to go on a teardrop. And so we'll get those set and hooked up in the next 2 months. So hopefully before daylight savings gets too close. Other than that, you have any questions?
Any questions for Bob? Thank you, sir.
One more, sorry. Ms. Davenport's going to recognize our employees of the month.
Maybe. Okay. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get our PowerPoint up for you. Jonathan? Because I'm not, it's like the little box that you told me to hit's not there now. Now there it comes. Yeah. Thank you.
Jonathan just walks out.
See
of
why
his
I said I
box
probably
and
shouldn't be
start
the
working.
technology.
You don't even have to touch it. That's how good he is. He just walks out of his box and it starts working.
I'm gonna move into the technology department when I get done here, because I clearly have that down. Okay, so we appreciate all our Santa Fe ISD employees who work to provide our students every opportunity to achieve and succeed in education. Please join me this evening in celebrating, thanking, and congratulating the following SFISD staff as they are honored as Employee of the Month for September. I'll just read the names. We have a real cute PowerPoint. Y'all can see that later.
No, do the PowerPoint.
I'll try. Now I'll try. Thank you, Jonathan. Okay, from Barnett Elementary, we have Sharon Mutina. From Kubitschek Elementary, we have Tamara Rose. From Woolham Elementary, we have John Jackson. From Santa Fe Junior High, we have Brooke Carroll. Santa Fe High School, Christy Loy. Transportation Department, Terry Dickey. Maintenance and Operations Department, Irma Salazar. Custodial Department, Araceli Nolasco. Our Nutrition Services Department, Vanessa Farina. And from the Administration Building, we have Marcia Banda. So congratulations and thank you for your service to our students in the district.
I think that's all now.
All right. Next, we have our notice of our general election for 2020. Ms. Taliski, you going to do that or Ms. Townsend going to do it?
It's been a while. I guess I better show face. The election division provided us a list of early voting and election day polling locations. This list also includes early voting dates and times. We have this available on our website, and I'm here to answer any questions if you have some.
Any questions about the early voting and the voting process? Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
That was easy.
Okay, we will now move on to our consent agenda.
Yes, sir. We just have a few items for your consideration and our consent approval this evening. Our minutes from prior meetings, accounts payable for the month, and then the promotional item vendor list.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda as it was presented. Any questions? Not all those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Nope, it is unanimous. Okay, that will move on to our regular agenda. And our first item, Ms. Hanser, do you have the local policy approval for approval?
Yes, I do. As a part of Santa Fe ISD's continuous improvement strategy, this policy was presented to the Santa Fe High School Grading Policy Committee for review. The committee unanimously decided to include 2 endorsements for a student to receive the distinction of honor graduate. The next step was to present the campus grading policy recommendations to TASB for review and the district policy committee. Upon further review, it is the recommendation of the district policy committee to approve the policy as presented.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve EIC local as presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the EIC local policy. Any questions? Not all those in favor, raise your hands, please. Any opposed? It is unanimous. Okay, next we have the risk management fund renewal.
Yes, TASB Risk Management Fund has provided exceptional risk management coverage to educational entities throughout Texas since 1974 and provides unemployment compensation coverage more than any other provider. Santa Fe ISD must make a $52,214 contribution to the pool this year in order to secure coverage. The Santa Fe ISD HR department proactively manages all unemployment claims in an effort to reduce our yearly contribution. However, as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, unemployment claims have been on the rise and has resulted in an increase in our district contribution. Our initial review indicates that claims arose from the following scenarios. Substitute teachers, employees who may not have understood they would continue to be paid, for employees who had left the school district employment but lost a subsequent job and whose eligibility period included their district work, and employees who lost second jobs. So fortunately, the CARES Act passed by Congress promises to reimburse local governments for unemployment compensation claims incurred from March through December up to 50%. Our district renewal proposal incorporates the CARES Act reimbursements into the estimation of future claims. So I'm asking that you approve that contribution this evening.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve the TASB risk management fund renewal proposal not to exceed $52,214. I have a question. This is because we don't pay state unemployment, or as far as like your FICA, state unemployment or federal unemployment?
We do pay into TRS and then our substitutes pay into FICA, but not state.
This is going to compensate the state portion.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the TASB Risk Management Fund renewal. Any other questions? Not all those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Okay, we have one opposed. All right, let's see. Next, you have the resolution for compensation of employees during Hurricane Laura.
Yes. To promote employee morale and retention, the district is proposing a resolution to compensate employees for workdays missed as a result of inclement weather and hurricane conditions, which serves a public purpose in the continued retention of employees. According to board policy DEA local, the board is within its right to choose to pay employees during an emergency closure for which the workdays are not scheduled to be made up at a later date. The authorization shall be by resolution or other board action and shall reflect the purpose served by the expenditure. In addition, the administration is requesting that by the same resolution, the board grant authority to the administration to compensate certain employees who work during the storm and recovery in order to ensure and expedite the safe openings of schools.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve the resolution for the compensation of employees during Hurricane Laura, which serves as a public purpose in the continued retention and morale for such employees and ensuring an efficient and expeditious opening of schools.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this resolution for compensation of the employees during Hurricane Laura. Any questions? Not all those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? It is passed unanimously. Okay, let's see. You have one more Human Resources Day proclamation.
Probably several more, but yes. Governor Greg Abbott has proclaimed October 14th, 2020 as Texas Education Human Resources Day, which is a day set aside to recognize and honor the important contributions made by school personnel who work in human resources. Human resources personnel work hard each day to ensure that our schools are staffed with high-quality employees and that those employees have a good work environment in which to work.
Mr. President, I move that the board proclaim October 14, 2020 as Human Resource Day in Santa Fe ISD.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the proclamation for Human Resources Day. Any questions? Not all those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? It is unanimous. You going to do the rest of them, or you going to pawn some of them off on Ms. Davenport?
Well, I could because, you know, I know she can handle this part as, yes.
Oh, you still have buttons. to
No,
push.
I'm just going by what somebody wrote on my cheat sheet that you may want to give some of these over.
I probably will. The 2020 Fire Prevention Week theme Serve Up Fire Safety in the Kitchen effectively serves to educate the public that fire can happen anywhere. Fire is a serious public safety concern, and homes are where people are at greatest risk for fire. While campuses across the district practice fire drills once a month, it is just as vital as families develop a home fire escape plan with all members of the household and practice it twice a year. Fire Prevention Week is October 4th through the 10th, 2020. The district is urging all parents and staff to conduct home fire drills at least twice a year and to support the many public safety activities and efforts of our Santa Fe ISD Police Department and Santa Fe Fire and Emergency Services during Fire Prevention Week 2020.
Mr. President, I move that the board proclaim October 4th through the 10th, 2020 as Fire Prevention Week in Santa Fe ISD.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. We approve the proclamation for Fire Prevention Week. Any questions? Not all those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Nope, it is unanimous. Thank you. National School Lunch Week.
National School Lunch Week blast off with a healthy school lunch is October 12th through the 16th, 2020. The Santa Fe ISD Yum Nutrition Services Department serves approximately 888 breakfasts and 1,845 lunches daily. And these employees serve nearly 500,000 meals each year, ensuring students' nutritional needs are met with appealing and delicious meals. This week is set aside to encourage all residents to become aware and concerned about their children's and their own nutritional habits in hope of achieving a healthier outlook for today and the future.
Could we make it a rule that anytime before we say yum, we have to say award-winning yum
Yeah,
program?
there you go.
I mean, every
can
time
do
I
that.
see yum, I think award-winning yum. We should have to, that should be required that we put that before that every time we say it.
We'll get Ms. Ballard
Mr.
to
President, I move that the board proclaim October 12th through 16th, 2020 as National School Lunch Week in Santa Fe ISD.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the proclamation for National School Lunch Week. Any questions? Not all those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? No, it is unanimous. Okay, next we have the National Bus Safety Week.
Yes, sir. National School Bus Safety Week is October 19th through the 23rd, 2020. This year's theme is Red Lights Mean Stop. The district's first priority in the transportation program is the safety of students. Approximately 3,500 students are transported by 54 drivers on 46 buses with over 116 routes on a daily basis. This week is set aside to promote safety when loading, unloading, and while riding on the bus. Literature is given to students during this week to share with their parents and with the community about bus safety.
Because we will take your picture.
Yep.
Mr. President, I move that the board proclaim October 19th to 23rd, 2020 as National Bus Safety Week in Santa Fe ISD.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the National Bus Safety Week proclamation. Any questions? Not all those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Nope, it is unanimous. All right, Red Ribbon Week.
The National and Santa Fe ISD Red Ribbon Week campaign, Be Happy, Be Brave, Be Drug-Free, is scheduled for October 23rd through the 31st, 2020. This annual event is one of the largest and most successful drug awareness and prevention activities in the country. The Santa Fe ISD DARE Drug Awareness Resistance Education Program requests the Board of Trustees to pass a proclamation that encourages each campus to provide special opportunities for our students to participate in the Red Ribbon Week campaign. Activities that promote drug and/or safety awareness will be instituted during Red Ribbon Week.
Mr. President, I move that the board proclaim October 23rd to the 31st of 2020 as Red Ribbon Week in Santa Fe ISD.
That's a hard one. I should have turned that one over to Jenny.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the proclamation for Red Ribbon
Anybody else want to try it?
Ribbon Week in Santa Fe ISD. Any questions? If not, all those in favor, raise your hand. Opposed? None. It is passed unanimously. Okay, the Bullying Prevention Month proclamation.
National Bullying Prevention Month is October. The theme for this year is Stomp Out Bullying, End the Hate, Change the Culture. This month is set aside to encourage students, parents, recreation programs, religious institutions, and community organizations to engage in a variety of awareness and prevention activities designed to make our schools and communities safer for all children and adolescents.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the proclamation for Bullying Prevention Month. Any questions? Not all those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? No, it is unanimous. Thank you. All right, next we have the National Principals Month.
Santa Fe ISD is joining the National Association of Secondary Principals, the National Association of Elementary Principals, and the American Federation of School Administrators as we honor the hard work and dedication of America's principals for the month of October. Principals are expected to be educational leaders, disciplinarians, community builders, spokesmen, budget analysts, guardians of policy mandates, and set the academic tone for their school and provide a safe and secure learning environment. National Principals Month provides an opportunity to say thank you to our principals and share with the community all the great things that our principals do.
Mr. President, I move that the board proclaim October 2020 as National Principals Month in Santa Fe ISD.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the proclamation for National Principals Month. Any questions? Not all those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? No, it is passed unanimously. Okay, so all the proclamations. Ms. Ryan, we have a waiver for mandated minute requirements.
Yes. Good evening. Based on Texas Education Code 25.081, student calendars must provide a minimum of 75,600 minutes of student attendance per year. If district students are taking dual credit courses at an institute of higher education with a calendar not meeting this requirement, a district may apply for a waiver of the minimum requirement. Because Collegiate High School's calendar is based on that of College of the Mainland, Santa Fe ISD students attending Collegiate High School attend fewer than 75,600 minutes. To ensure full funding for these students, Santa Fe ISD must submit a waiver requesting that the minutes be waived based on section 3.8.1.7 of the Student Attendance Accounting Handbook. Please consider and approve a waiver of the state mandated minute calendar requirement for Santa Fe ISD students enrolled at Collegiate High School for 2020-2021.
Mr. President, I move we approve a waiver for the state mandated 75,600 minute calendar requirement for Santa Fe ISD students enrolled at Collegiate High School in 2020-2021.
Second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this waiver for the state mandated time on the Collegiate High School. Any other questions? Not all.
It's just not meeting the TEA minimum requirement, but they're getting enough hours for college.
Are they not getting the minutes? Just curious.
They're getting all the hours required at the college. It's just they're not meeting our district minimum requirement.
Okay, so that's the minutes here, not there.
Right.
Okay.
Any other questions? And all those in favor, please raise your hands. Any opposed? None, it is passed unanimously. Okay, Mr. Atkins, you have a couple items for us. The first is this contract with Lemons Auctioneers.
Yes, sir. So over the years, we've been doing these auctions in the past. They're to get rid of surplus equipment, surplus capital equipment that we've accrued over the years for the district, just to help us kind of clean out the district. We have an auction we would like to get approved tonight. The auction would start on October 29th and would close November 3rd with a preview on October 23rd. We will put this on our website. We'll also put it in Facebook and other places to advertise this. It's an online auction. We have many items. We have a few buses. We have some vehicles. We have a serving line that came out of the high school and a bunch of other surplus stuff that we would like to get rid of that we no longer utilize in the district.
We were able to get the serving line out where it's maybe where we can get some money back.
Yeah, so typically a company will come and buy them
we were
as
talking about
scrap.
buying it. We didn't think that was even a possibility.
Right. So I mean, one piece is 19 foot long. So, you know, but
Hey, if
it's
we
got a
get
lot of
anything-
stainless on it.
Yeah,
So
anything's better than nothing.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
glad to hear
looking
we
at it.
salvaged something out of it. I mean, that's good.
When's the auction?
it will go live on October 29th and run through November 3rd. And then the pickup will be the 4th through the 6th.
It's 18% kind of a standard auction fee. I mean,
It is.
Yeah, I don't ever deal with auctions very often, so
They come out. So only thing they ask us to do is put it in kind of groups, and they come out and they do all the photography. They do all the web hosting. They do all the posting. They have pretty regular folks that look at their auction site, their online auction site. So they've got a lot of regulars, and we've done really well with them.
LLC to provide online auction services for Santa Fe ISD, surplus equipment and materials.
second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this contract with Lemons Auctioneers for this online auction. Any other questions? Not all those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? It is passed unanimously. Okay, Bob, you got another one with the Milestone Video Management?
Yes, sir. So before we did all the security upgrades and we were running 400 or 500 cameras, the video management system we have was sufficient. But now that we're running over 800 cameras in our district, we need to upgrade our video management system. The system we have right now is slow. It has a big delay in it, 4 or 5 seconds. And we are actually monitoring these cameras real time now. We have 2 people that sit in a police office and monitor those live action. We looked at several video management systems, and Milestone was the one system that worked well with what we were trying to do. It's more intuitive, more user friendly. The current system we have also was bought by Panasonic and was not getting very many more updates. So we're actually going to walk away from the line. So we were losing support. This system will also integrate with our access control systems. So as somebody walks up to badge into a door or even opens a door, if they're not supposed to be, it'll bring that camera to the forefront for the folks that are monitoring them, and they can actually see what's going on live action. So it keeps them more abreast. Because if you've walked in a police office, they've got a 8 55-inch TVs that have almost every camera we have up at some point, and they're scrolling through, and so these will bring those doors up to the camera immediately.
800 monitors, screens?
Well, they rotate through, but we have 8 55-inch screens that'll have a whole bunch of camera shots, and then they have 4 computer monitors also that have more cameras on them. So yeah, it's really busy. So this will help manage some of that. It'll also be more user friendly for what we want to do when we want to download videos and things like that. So we are going to get awarded the COPS grant, and so 75%, is that right? 75% of the money will be provided to purchase it from the COPS grant, and 25% will come out of general fund.
So we haven't installed like a trial version or anything?
We ran a trial version last year for 100 cameras or 80 cameras. We ran it for about 5 months, and we realized we could get it through the COPS grant, so we applied for it, but we went in, it was a trial run, so we had to turn it off until we got the grant to approve the purchase.
Pretty darn certain that it's going to do exactly what we need it to do.
Yeah, and Chiefs Officer Rubin has worked with it in previous jobs and said it was really good for what he was doing. So
good deal.
So I know you told me this before at finance, and I don't remember. Is this 147,000 our part, or is that the total cost and you're going to get some of that?
That's the total cost. And so
General fund
so that's the total cost. General fund will only have to pay
38,179.26.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I understood that.
Yes.
I know it's in there, but I just didn't. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
$38,179.26.
will come out of general fund. Yes.
Good job, Clay.
Okay.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the purchase of video management and access integration update for the micro integration for amount of not to exceed $147,679.14.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the purchase of the video management integration, micro integration. Any other questions? Not, all those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Nope, it is unanimous.
All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Mr. McKinney.
I know this guy's happy.
Go after some buses.
Yes, sir. So we're bringing forward an additional 4 buses to be purchased with the VW grant money. They're identical to the large buses that we bought last time, with the exception of it's a model year 2022 bus that we'll take delivery of. And so we're asking for the approval to purchase 4 buses from Longhorn Bus in the amount of $472,716 with the VW grant reimbursement of $200,208 for a district price not to exceed $272,508.
This is 4 of 9, 10 total?
There's 19 total in the grant. We bought 9 last time. This is 4 more, and there's still another 6 eligible under the grant.
Before the end of the year?
They have to be delivered by August 31st, 2021.
So you're just gonna space them out for the rest of the year? I mean, I know we talked about this in finance, but I'm trying to, so everybody else is on the same page too.
Yes.
And I never really got an answer in finance either. I just expressed the fact that we should absolutely buy all of them and you could figure out how to pay for them.
Yes, thank you. So we are, we're really trying to figure that out. We're watching our funding from House Bill 3 to see the adjustments that are made. We're closing out the year with our audit. So we're hopeful that we will know shortly where we stand, and we're hoping that we will continue to receive the COVID-19 grants that are coming in so we can offset and be reimbursed from some of those expenditures that have already come out of our fund balance. And so then we could adjust expenditures and then swap them with other expenditures. So that's really what we're hoping for, is to see how that all pans out. From what we're understanding, they have not released all the COVID grants yet. There's one more still to come, which is a reimbursement. They hope to get that out by October. So hopefully that will allow us to reimburse for the teacher computers that were purchased and a round of student computers that we purchased before the reimbursement program. So that's the hope. So we'll know, and as soon as we know. We did discuss today the timeline of ordering the buses and when we get them. There is a pretty good lead time on that. We hope that it's about 3 months. We were wanting to make sure that we had at least 9 months of comfort zone. So we may not have that, but we definitely will continue to work as we move through the year. With all of the agreements that we sign with them, we're making sure that it states we must take delivery no later than August the 27th, 2021, because if we don't get the buses whenever the grant finishes, then we can't pay for them with the grant. So we're just making it real clear with Longhorn what we need and continue to communicate that and continue to watch the financial statements.
Yeah, because I mean, we definitely do not want to miss out on this. I mean, this is just so everybody understands, we're getting these buses for basically half price. I mean, yes. We have to make this happen. So
Mr. McKinney, can you discuss your fleet? How much of that fleet is we kind of talked about it in finance, but how much your fleet has been renewed over the last few
So
years?
the average age of the bus is coming way down. It was at about 14 and a half before the grant, which generally industry standard is retire a bus at 15, 10 years on route, 5 as a spare, and then retire them. So with an average age of 14 and a half years, there were quite a few that were much older than that. We're down to about an average age of 10 years right now. And probably if we complete the grant, we should have an average age of about 6 years. And, just to speak to the 4 buses that we're going to purchase, there are 4 buses that will be destroyed in the grant that,
yeah.
I mean, I took it to Terry and said, which buses need to go? He said, well, these 4 are going to take extensive work if we're going to run them any longer than about another month. And so we'll probably down them sometime pretty soon just to avoid spending up to $10,000 to $15,000 on each one to get them running. And so it's very targeted what we're sending for destruction.
I mean, if you spend $15,000 on 4 buses, I mean, $60,000 right there.
So, and y'all are running approximately 20 routes currently?
We're running 24 high school and junior high routes and 24 elementary routes. And then we have 6 special needs routes that we're running. So 30 in all.
Awesome. Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. McKinney?
Longhorn bus, an amount of $472,716 with a VW grant reimbursement of $208,000 for a district price not to exceed $272,508.
Second.
Okay, so we moved in second that we approve the purchase of these 4 buses from Longhorn Bus. Any other questions? Not all those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? No, it is passed unanimously. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. McKinney.
Okay, that is all of our regular agenda items. So we are ready now to move into some communication before adjournment. So Mr. Kelly, I will start with you.
Okay, again, I know it's the same thing every month and y'all have so much information for us, and all I can say is thank you. You know, I mean, y'all do such a great job. It really, there's no words for it. And thank everybody else for in attendance today. I appreciate y'all coming. There's one thing I just wanted to make clear, because I've had a lot of people ask me these questions about a lot of the masks and stuff for the COVID. That's not our decision up here. These are things that the governor's edicts went down to, you know, the different branches, and it ended up in our lap, and y'all have done a magnificent job with doing what you have to do to keep it going. So thank y'all, even though it doesn't come from up here.
Mr. Davenport.
For those that are watching out online as well as in here, thank you for goes out to the teachers, truthfully, and I think Ms. Ross, you've done a great job delivering what efforts they're putting into it, what efforts that CNI has put into it. It's not fun, and we've only really got into this a couple of months. We don't know what's around the corner, obviously, for education as a whole, but I want to say thank you to all those teachers and staff in our district, as well as if you're an educator, period, in the state and the nation and the world. So it's not an easy time for any of us. So really, truly, my heart goes out to each one of you. And I want to say thank you for those efforts. I look around and see Officer Saylor. I mean, and it's not easy for him either. You know, we've put all this technology in to try to help secure our kids and our campuses and everything else, but yet then we all have to wear masks, and it just makes things a little bit tougher. So it's everybody that has a part in education that my thanks go out to. Really just, I have to encourage everybody to just keep doing what you're doing. It's not easy. I recognize that, 2020 cannot end quick enough. I know we want to get past this, but obviously we still don't know what 2021 and beyond has in store for Santa Fe ISD as a whole, especially with the pandemic. So just encourage everyone to keep their head held high and keep moving forward. And I appreciate everybody that is contributing to the overall success of our kids and our staff. So thank you.
Ms. Townsend, do you have anything else you'd like to leave us with?
No, just a reminder, we're finishing up that annual audit to submit, so that's coming, and special thanks to Alex and Sarah for helping get that all wrapped up and put together. And Dr. Gordon is putting the finishing touches on the CARES Coronavirus Relief Fund grant. It's been an enormous amount of effort, so we certainly appreciate all of her hard work for helping us put that massive amount of information together. And so those should wrap up.
Mr. Atkins, you got anything else for us?
Just want to say thanks to all the operational staff for working on all the changes and helping keep all the students and teachers safe. And recognize the teachers for stepping up and taking on some of the cleaning duties in their classrooms to keep all the students in their class safe and safe. I know that's a lot more on their plate than what they normally have.
Ms. Hanser, do you have anything else for us?
Just that at your seats, you have an events calendar, and just wanted to direct you to that. And you'll notice that all of the games and the activities are here in the district, so it's not inclusive of everything that's happening outside of the district. But our first, I say first because the Friday night game is rescheduled to us. Varsity football is home at 7 p.m. We have seventh grade volleyball, 8th grade football, freshman football, and our volleyball varsity teams are all here this week. So, to give an opportunity to go out around this kids, we really appreciate it. And then before we left for reach everyone to make sure they have it. And thank you again for your support and all you do for the students and staff.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Ross.
Yes, I would like to
acknowledge that we have an interim director around for technology, and she stepped up to the plate unassumingly and unexpectedly because we needed someone to come in and help us, being that we're heavily reliant right now on and will be on technology. So, today she presented the audit that was conducted middle of last year for technology, and has been working with a consultant and put some plans in place for us to move forward, collectively with instruction and technology. So looking forward to it. I'd just like to tell Ms. Brown how much she is very much appreciated. She's been working countless hours to get things in the right place because she wants to take care of her kids. So wanted to thank her.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Hertenberger, have anything for us? Do what?
No, come up with something original this time.
No, I got a chance to walk the high school Friday, and I planned to visit the others, during this week, but they went smooth. I was impressed the way how the kids are following directions, had their mask on, were asking questions. Hey, can I do this? And teachers were doing a good job. I mean, I can, and thank you to all the teachers at home because I drive by the schools in the evening times and I see them 8 or 9 o'clock at night. They're putting in some hours. So hats off to the teachers and staff. I see it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Snyder.
I'll say more next month, but I can't thank y'all enough for what y'all do. I don't go further than that. Thank y'all.
Sir. Mr. Logan.
Mr. Brown, thank you for stepping up. Appreciate that. I know Patty already covered this, but hey, y'all need to go out and support our volleyball, football, the band, cheer, drill team, all that's getting going. So y'all go out there and support them when they're home games.
Yeah.
I mean, they really enjoy that. But thank y'all all for everything y'all do.
Mr. Grassmuck.
I've been gonna bring this up for like a long time, but I keep forgetting about it because I was the one that complained about it about 2 years ago and was pretty ugly about it even before I got on the board and learned to appreciate the people that actually work here. But our school website has improved about 1,000% over what it used to be. And it's not just the website, it's the little things like the employee of the month thing that y'all just did tonight. It's not just, okay, here they are, here's their names. It's just the little extra effort that was put into it. It shows. And the website is 1,000 times better than it ever was before. So sorry I was so rude before I came, Patty. My apologies publicly. Y'all are all doing, I don't know if masks work. I don't know if social distancing works. I don't know. All I can say is cases aren't going through the roof. So knock on wood. And somebody's doing a good job somehow. I don't know how. I don't know what the magic answer is, but whatever you're doing is working. So keep doing it. Accounting, first rating, superior, again. Great job to y'all's entire team. It makes our life a whole lot easier when we don't have to worry about scrutinizing every single little detail about finances, because we can trust that things are still verified, but we can trust that things are being done right. And kind of off of what Clay said about visiting the high school, I kind of cheated. I was on vacation, and my daughter's still doing virtual. So I sat in on some online classes secretly. Her teachers are probably cringing right now, but they shouldn't be, because it was impressive. The teachers, the ones that, I mean, and everything's not perfect, and we don't expect it to be. But the classes I sat in on were very impressive. I mean, the teachers did a phenomenal job of working with both online and the kids in the room. That particular one of them, there was a technology issue, the Wi-Fi connection issue in the classroom. She walks over there, picks the phone up, calls technology, and 3 minutes later, somebody's in the classroom fixing a problem. That was impressive. To have a 3-minute turnaround just right there in the middle of class. and somebody's on spot, on the scene fixing it. So no, it's not all perfect, but it's shocking how good everybody's doing. And everybody, it's obvious everybody's working their rear end off to make it work. So thank you to everybody.
I want to piggyback on that statement. So I've got the high school, gotten to witness the high school and the elementary. The high school's smooth, but the younger kids, we need to get those kids back in class. It's difficult there. You've got their parents walking behind, just ignoring the whole situation. So it's like, hey, little assistance here. Hats off to those teachers. There you go. That's the facts. We need to know the facts. It can't always be the teacher's fault. Communities has to do their part as well. And that's what we're here for. We're not gonna, we got to be the wall to have y'all's back. We will. I don't have a problem with that one bit. So thank y'all.
For what it's worth, I think all kids should be back in the classroom sooner than later. I don't know when that magic date is, but that's where my heart is, my mind's at, and everything else.
Dr. Wall, you have anything else for us?
Everybody has expressed the appreciation and the gratitude, and it really does take everybody. It takes the board, the support that you guys continually provide to the staff and the students. It's huge. Every one of our departments and staff and principals and schools working together to do, I think you've all said it, working hard to make it happen for kids, and relentlessly working hard to make it happen for kids. So that's what makes Santa Fe ISD an awesome place to be. So thank you all for being a part of that and continuing to fight for our children, and to the board for all of your dedication and continuing to fight for our district as well. So thanks.
Very good. I've got a couple items. Friday night, we had a phone call from a parent who has a daughter that plays volleyball, and she stayed home due to COVID concerns or whatever, and she thought it was going to be live streamed, and apparently it wasn't. And so she expressed to me, why is that? And I said, I don't have a clue how they determine what gets live streamed, what doesn't, but I'll be happy to bring it up. So I guess not just focusing on volleyball or sports, but I think as we go through this COVID and people are saying you're limiting the number of folks that can participate in things, what events do we live stream? So I'm going to kind of throw it at technology first. I don't even know what your capabilities are, and then how people request that type of thing. I mean, they're used to, I know you've done football, we do a lot of those things, but what other events can we live stream, and what are our limitations or the possibilities? So, you may think about that. And for those of you that have events, or your areas have events that you may want live stream, to work on that in the future, because I mean, it was a legitimate question. I'm staying home because of COVID. You're limiting the number of people you allow in the gym anyway, which I don't know if we hit that number or not, but it's a legitimate question. So something to think about with the groups. You can't say thanks enough. Everybody has just, we just seem like we're in an ever evolving situation around within changes. And like was pointed out, you got the government mandating some things, and our own policies mandate others or whatnot, but people really continue to step up to the plate and make it happen for what the students need for education. And I mean, that's really what it's all about. But one of the things I want to challenge you with, I was at an event last weekend, and some people were making comments around 2020 can't go away fast enough. And a guy stopped everybody and he said, I look at it a little differently. I got married in 2020, and I'm going to have a child born in 2020, and I'm trying to focus on this being the best year of my life. So my challenge to people is try to look for some good, because we can talk about all kind of bad going on in this year. So maybe try to find something good to focus on and just change that perspective just a little bit. So with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
Anybody against that? All right, we are adjourned. Thank y'all very much. Chief.